If you are interested in cooking on a budget, and especially if you like watching really creative budget cooking, then you're not gonna wanna miss this video. I have been on YouTube for about 6 years, and in that amount of time, I've probably made over 600 videos. And occasionally I like to go back and look at older videos and just see if they still hold up, what they would cost now, and what I would do differently. So I came across this video that I made in July of 2021. It's June of 2024 right now, so almost 3 years ago. And the challenge was to create a day's worth of meals and be as creative as possible with a day's worth of meals to feed one person on just a $5 budget. And I think I did pretty well back then. I made some French toast with mangoes, and I think I did some corn fritters with fresh corn and eggs and fried those up and served them with cottage cheese. And then I did sort of like a deconstructed bruschetta with fresh tomatoes and cottage cheese and toast. I'll leave that original video linked in the description box below in case you're interested in checking that out after you watch this one. Well, I pulled up my Walmart app and I put in the exact ingredients that I purchased for that video, and I was surprised to find out that today they would cost me $8.72. So I thought it would be fun to head back to Walmart today with that budget, $8.72, and see what I can come up with. See how creative I can get feeding myself for a day with $8.72. Here we go. Believe it or not, shopping at Walmart for these sort of short-term type budget meal plans limits me a little bit more than shopping at a traditional grocery store, because a traditional grocery store will have a butcher counter, and at a butcher counter I could buy like a quarter pound of ground beef. I could buy one chicken breast, just get what I need for that one meal, you know, or that one recipe, and I don't really have that option here at Walmart. So we're gonna be getting creative where the proteins are concerned. The cheese at my Walmarts has been rolled back on price recently, so I picked up a 6-ounce package of Parmesan cheese for $1.97. I also grabbed a can of chickpeas for 82 cents, and I am definitely going to use the eggs again in this challenge, but instead of buying a full dozen, I had intended to buy a half dozen, which I could purchase at my Walmart for $1.08. Unfortunately, they were out of the little half dozen containers at my Walmart today, but I have eggs at home, so I'm gonna just use those, but I am going to include the $1.08 price in my total. I really like these small packages of pasta that I find in the aisle that has some Hispanic brands for these types of challenges, because it's just 7 ounces of pasta. So when I'm doing a short-term challenge, I love to pick these up instead of buying the full 1-pound package, because this is more than enough for me. So I'm gonna get this package of vermicelli. And one thing people don't realize sometimes about pasta is that it does have protein. In fact, there are 7 grams of protein per serving in this package, and there are 3.5 servings. So there's about 25 grams of protein in this package of pasta right here. Time for a little produce, and I am gonna pick up some greens, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to just get a head of like romaine or leaf lettuce for around $2, or a package of spinach for around $2. And I think I'm gonna do the spinach, but after you see what I'm doing, you can decide which one you wanna use. The spinach is gonna be more versatile across multiple meals since I can throw it into cooked things, but for the primary purpose that I'm using it for, the leaf lettuce would work as well. Score, I found one on clearance, and since I'm gonna use it today, I'm not too worried about the sell-by date, which is today, because I'm gonna eat it today. They also have this organic spring mix marked down to $1.82, so I thought long and hard about it, but I want the versatility of the spinach, so I'm gonna stick with that, but this would work for the dinner that I'm making. I'm also grabbing 1 cucumber at 64 cents, and this meal plan needs a little sweetness, so I'm gonna grab just 1 banana. Since I'm trying to really limit what I'm using from my pantry as far as seasonings and spices and condiments go, just keep it really basic, like oil and salt and pepper, I decided to go ahead and pick up this package of Greek style dressing mix. It is right next to the ranch mixes, and it's only 50 cents. I actually still had a little wiggle room left in this budget, so I grabbed a blueberry yogurt at 58 cents. It's just regular yogurt, not the Greek kind. And I checked the discount bakery rack, and I found a little loaf of bread for 56 cents. And I think I'm gonna grab 1 little Roma tomato. I actually think I'm gonna go for one of these limes instead of the tomato, because I wanna use this to make a dressing. And now I'm gonna head up to the register and we're gonna see how close I came to my budget. Okay, so my total before tax for those items was $7.85. And then if I add in the cost of the half dozen eggs, had they had them, $1.08, it would come out to $8.93. So I'm just a little bit over my budget by about 15 cents. That line that I picked up at the end put me over, but still, I'm actually really surprised that this day and age, June of 2024, I can pick up such a variety of items and so many items at such a low price. I'm going to take you home now and I'll show you what I would do with those. Today's video is sponsored by Upside, the free F-R-E-E free app that you can download in Google Play or the App Store that gives you cash back on stuff that a lot of us are buying anyway at gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants. Using Upside is super easy. Once you download the app and create an account, you'll be able to see all the deals that are available in your area. You just select the cash back deal that you want to claim, you go to that place and you make a purchase. A lot of times I'm not even asked to upload a receipt because it's connected to the card that I'm using to pay. The cash back is usually added to my Upside account within a couple of days, and then I can cash out directly to my bank account, or I can trade my Upside earnings for a gift card to a variety of retailers that are available in the app. Top Upside earners are making as much as $300 a month. To find out how much you could earn, click the link in the description to download the free Upside app and use code Mindy to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. Or you can scan the QR code right here to claim this offer. With over 100,000 gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants on the Upside app, you might as well be earning cash back. So click that link in the description box below or scan the QR code to get started with Upside. And thank you again to Upside for sponsoring today's video. I'm keeping breakfast pretty simple with just some scrambled eggs, a little bit of spinach tossed in there for some veggies, salt and pepper to taste, and then I'm slicing up that bread bowl to make toast. In the original video, I had used the eggs and the bread to make French toast. I went for a little bit more of a savory breakfast. Of course, you could serve the egg over easy, or you could hard boil the eggs. You could probably turn this into an omelet since I bought cheese, have the toast along with it. I mean, there are lots of different ways that you could make this meal pretty quickly, keep it really simple, but still have it be very satisfying and filling. I'm actually going to prep the dinner meal at the same time that I cook the lunch meal, so let me show you what I'm doing. I got my pasta cooking in a pot of salted water, and it does not take this pasta very long to cook, only about 4 minutes because it's so little. While that was cooking, I chopped up half of my cucumber into little pieces and put it into a bowl, and then I drained and rinsed my chickpeas and put those in there as well. When my pasta was done cooking, only about 4 minutes, I drained it, and then I only put half of it back into the pot. The other half I put into the bowl with the chickpeas and the cucumbers, and we'll come back to that in just a minute. To finish up the lunch meal, I was going for kind of like a carbonara style pasta, so I cracked 2 eggs into a bowl, a little bit of salt and pepper to taste, and then a handful, like maybe half a cup of my Parmesan cheese, and I beat that with a fork until the egg was whisked together with the cheese. I tempered that mixture with a little bit of the hot pasta water before I drained the pasta, and then when I put half of that cooked pasta back into the pot, I stirred in the egg and cheese mixture and just kept stirring it so that the egg would cook but not scramble. I tossed in a handful of spinach and stirred that all around, and then I decided to pop it back onto the stove over medium heat for about 2 minutes. And I just kept stirring it the entire time because I didn't want those eggs to get overcooked in the sauce, but I wanted the spinach to wilt a little bit and for everything to thicken up. Once the spinach had wilted, I just put a serving of the pasta onto a plate, added a little bit of extra Parmesan cheese, and then I sliced up the other half of my cucumber and also toasted up a few more pieces of toast to go along with this. A really hearty, filling meal that still had leftovers because I didn't even eat all the pasta. Now we're gonna make up a little dressing for the pasta salad so I can get it chilling for later. So I have about a 1/4 cup of water in here. I'm gonna go ahead and add my package of Greek dressing mix. Remember that lime from earlier? Now squeeze that. You could use lemon, you could use vinegar, actually a little bit of vinegar, like a champagne vinegar or just some apple cider vinegar probably would be just fine, or white wine vinegar. 1/2 cup of oil of your choice, olive oil, vegetable oil, I don't know, whatever kind of oils people like to use in their salad dressings usually. That's what you're gonna have on hand. Shake it up. Now I'm just gonna pour this over the top of my pasta and cucumbers and chickpeas, and I'm gonna put the lid on this bowl and pop it into the fridge for a few hours to chill. I'll show you what we're doing with it here in a bit. I always like to include a little sweetness or a little treat in these meal plans if at all possible. So earlier I chopped up my banana and I tossed it into the freezer. And now I am going to pop it into the blender with the blueberry yogurt to create a banana blueberry smoothie. If you don't have a blender, that's okay. You could just chop up the banana and eat it in the yogurt. You could eat it along with your breakfast, as an afternoon snack, as an evening treat, what have you. But I just think that it adds, you know, a little sweetness, a little treat to this budget meal plan. I am gonna finish up this pasta salad, but I actually decided to get a little bigger bowl to finish mixing it up in. Got the rest of my spinach here, and I still have a little bit of the dressing that I made from the packet seasoning, so I'm gonna put just a little bit of that onto the spinach as well. Now I'm just gonna toss the greens with the chickpeas and the pasta and the cucumbers here. This is definitely way more than I would eat in a single sitting, so definitely gonna have some leftovers. And I'm gonna plate this up with some Parmesan cheese and it will be ready to eat. Yum. A couple other things you could add to this if you wanted to, or if you had them lying around: a little bit of red onion, maybe some fresh tomatoes, maybe some chopped nuts like some chopped walnuts or pistachios, or some slivered almonds. Those would be good with this as well. Really good. This is actually just a little bit more food than I need or would eat in a single day. In fact, when I added it up, depending on how much oil you use, there's about 4,000 calories and about 175 grams of protein available, utilizing the ingredients that I purchased and that I used in this meal plan. For me, it might not be quite enough for 2 people. It might be enough for 2 people for one day, maybe if it's just once in a while, but it's definitely more than I think one person would need and would, you know, produce a little bit of leftovers. I have a big playlist of budget cooking videos linked in the description box below that includes lots of meal plans, lots of recipes for different varieties of budget cooking, different sizes, you know, a day, a week, a family, a single person. So if you like this kind of video, make sure that you check out that playlist for more ideas, or YouTube thinks you might be interested in watching this one next, and I'll see you there.